Stop planning for monsters. Just stop. The real zombie apocalypse is not the creature at your door. It is the crowd, the noise, the broken supply chain, the empty pharmacy, the jammed road, and the neighbor who waited too long to think. That is the expensive mistake. Rules matter before weapons do. Stay with me. The rule nobody wants to hear comes in the middle, and it has nothing to do with fighting. Rule 1: distance beats defense. The civilian fantasy is holding the house like a movie bunker. Prepared people understand that walls are temporary and distance buys decision time. If the threat is moving through streets, apartment halls, or subdivisions, every foot of separation is a filter. One locked door gives you seconds. One empty block gives you minutes. One rural mile gives you options. Let that land. Your first job is not to win a fight. Your first job is to make contact unlikely. Rule 2: noise is a liability. Most people think loud equals strong. Engines, generators, shouting, barking dogs, radios turned up, even slamming cabinets. All of it becomes a beacon. Trained eyes see sound as a supply signal. In Katrina, visible resources and movement drew attention. Same principle. Quiet work, quiet light, quiet cooking, quiet movement. Write this down. The safest person in a collapse is often the person nobody notices. Rule 3: water outranks food by a mile. A full pantry looks comforting until the taps stop. Dehydration makes smart people stupid fast. The civilian mistake is counting cans. The prepared household counts gallons, containers, filters, and refill points. 1 gallon per person per day is the bare planning floor, not luxury. Do the math. 4 people, 7 days, 28 gallons before washing anything. If your plan starts with snacks, it starts wrong. Rule 4: the first safe place is not always the final safe place. People lock themselves into bad shelter because leaving feels scary. But a house beside a busy road, a glass-heavy storefront, or a ground-floor apartment with one exit can turn from refuge to trap. Prepared people rank shelter by exits, visibility, water access, temperature control, and distance from traffic, not comfort, function. During the 2003 blackout, stairwells and elevators became choke points. 4 rules in. Survival is not bravery, it is position. Rule 5. Never join the biggest moving crowd. This is the rule I've been holding. When people panic, they copy motion. They see cars moving and assume the road is safer than the place they left. Read that again. A 6-lane highway can process thousands of vehicles per hour under normal conditions, but one wreck, one stalled fuel pump, one blocked bridge, and the system becomes a parking lot with no water, no bathrooms, no shade, and no privacy. That is not evacuation. That is a line of trapped people advertising what they carry. Harvey showed the same pattern around flooded roads. Routes that looked passable turned deadly once water rose or traffic stalled. The ones who understood route failure waited, detoured, or left before the wave. The ones who chased the crowd lost time they could not get back. Rule 6: infection control is survival control. Not zombie infection, real infection. Cuts, stomach illness, contaminated water, bad hygiene, crowded shelter, spoiled food. Hollywood skips this because it is not dramatic, but history does not. After floods and earthquakes, sanitation failures create the second wave of suffering. The civilian mistake is thinking danger has teeth. Prepared people know danger also has dirty hands, gloves, soap, trash bags, bleach used correctly. Separate sick people, separate waste, separate food. Clean systems keep small problems from becoming household disasters. Rule 7. Fire can save you or expose you. Most people treat fire as comfort, warmth, cooking, light. But in a collapse, fire is also smoke, smell, glow, carbon monoxide, and attention. One candle in a window can tell the whole block you have supplies. One charcoal grill inside can kill a family without warning. Let that sink in. Prepared people cook small, ventilate properly, block light leaks, and avoid anything that announces their location. Fire is a tool, not a mood. Rule 8. Friends matter more than gear, but only the right friends. A lone wolf plan sounds clean until somebody gets sick, falls asleep, or needs to watch 2 doors at once. The wrong group burns supplies, argues loudly, and makes emotional decisions. The right group divides work before stress arrives. One person handles water, one handles cooking, one handles security, one handles sanitation. People who have done this before do not build a crowd. They build a small crew. 8 rules in. Supplies keep you alive for days. Systems keep you alive for weeks. Rule 9. Never reveal your full stockpile. This is where decent people make a dangerous mistake. They want to help, so they show the shelf, open the bin, mention the extra fuel, or hand out batteries from the same closet. Help is good. Advertising is not. In a long disruption, memory becomes a map. Someone remembers who had water. Someone remembers who had medicine. Someone remembers which garage had cans stacked high. Prepared people separate charity supplies from family reserves. One box to share, one reserve never discussed. That is discipline. Rule 10. Mobility must be boring and ready. Not a tactical truck, not a fantasy armored vehicle, a reliable car with half a tank, paper maps, walking shoes, water, blankets, basic tools, and a habit of backing into parking spaces beats a loud rig with no fuel plan. The mistake is building for attention instead of movement. If the road clears for 15 minutes, you move in 5. If the road closes, you walk without wrecking your feet. During Sandy, fuel shortages turned commuting into a logistics problem overnight. Mobility is not horsepower. Mobility is readiness. Rule 11. The final rule is psychological. The person who survives longest is rarely the toughest. It is the person who can stay boring under stress. Boring decisions, boring routines, boring inventory, boring sleep schedules. Panic wants novelty. Survival wants repetition. Check water. Check exits. Check people. Check light discipline. Check waste. Repeat. When everyone else is chasing rumors, you are protecting routine. This is the screenshot rule. If a decision makes you louder, more visible, more tired, or more dependent on strangers, it is probably wrong. Distance, silence, systems. That is the framework. You are not preparing for movie zombies. You are preparing for the failure pattern underneath the story. Crowd pressure, broken utilities, bad roads, dirty water, and tired people making fast decisions. You walked in thinking survival was about weapons and walls. You walk out knowing it is about position, hygiene, movement, and restraint. Build it across 3 calm weekends. Weekend 1, water, sanitation, and light. Weekend 2, routes, maps, fuel habits, and walking gear. Weekend 3, family roles, communication rules, and 1 quiet reserve nobody talks about. Next video covers the first 24 hours after the grid goes down, because that first day decides whether your household becomes organized or becomes another problem in the crowd. The apocalypse does not reward the loudest plan. It rewards the plan nobody had to improvise.